Another day, another box coveraging episode. We're here again. Another day to recap. A lot of cool games tonight. So let's talk about them. As we start in Cleveland, as the Cavs face off against the Nets. And the Nets have been on fire. Now have won 9 straight after tonight's game in Cleveland, which has been very tough place to win at. And they have been sensational offensively. The defense has been okayish, better than you would expect probably. And everyone has been playing some really good basketball. And shout out to KD. Kyrie both 32 points tonight. You got great performances out of them. You got TJ Warren off the bench with 23 points, 8 rebounds, and he's been balling out, and he's been much better than you would expect a player that has missed 2 years. And I would talk about the Nets more, but I got a special video coming out about their offense and how they're playing in December tomorrow. So I'll talk about the Nets more in detail tomorrow in a whole video about them. So let's leave it at that tonight. And the Cavs, yeah, a rough night of defensively. Donovan Mitchell didn't have it going offensively. Shout out Darius Garland, he was sensational with 46 points, 8 assists, just 1 turnover, 14 of 20 from the field. Great game from him. The only reason this game was close was him. And I was disappointed in Jared Allen and Evan Mobley, who did not play, good enough defensively and offensively. And yeah, you need more from the other guys 3-point shooting wise, but rough loss for the Cavs, but against the red hot Nets teams. Next up we head to Detroit as the Pistons and the Clippers face off, and the Clippers do something that has rarely happened in NBA history. Tonight there was no Kawhi Leonard for the Clippers, as he wants to play on the back end of the back-to-back against the Raptors tonight, as he played in Toronto, as we all know, and won the title with them. And this was one hell of a crazy comeback by the Clippers. This was a high scoring game, as you can see, 142 to 131, which is crazy. And the Pistons were up 14 points with like 3.5 minutes to go. And this is, just the third time in NBA history that a team has won when they have been down 14 points with like 3.5 minutes to go. I'm not sure of the exact number, I'll have it there exactly, but it's crazy. They're the third team, and the teams before that have been 2 and 12,873, which is a crazy weird stat, but I just found it so weird, I love it. So shout out to the Clippers. The bench mob won them this game in that end, because they kind of waved the towel and the bench came in and just kind of came back into the game. Then Paul George missed the free throw down the stretch when he got back in, as they were just down by 2, and he went to the free throw line. And yeah, it was crazy. But shout out to the bench mob, shout out to Terrence Mann, who was sensational in that fourth quarter, 6 points plus 28 on the night with 21 minutes. PG overall was great with 32 and 11. You got the bench mob, as I said, Norman Powell with 16, 7 of 12 from the field. Luke Kennard with 18 points with 6 of 12 from the field. John Wall, while he shot the ball well, wasn't great overall, but still 16 points off the bench. And just a great win for the Clippers, great comeback. They played the Raptors tonight, as I said, with Kawhi, so much more intriguing game than against the Pistons, who have been playing some really good basketball offensively, and they had everyone in double digits that has played except for Kevin Knox, which is, I'm not sure if that ever happened. Also, you got 2, 4, 6, 8 players in double digits. All players that have played except for Kevin Knox were in double digits. That's crazy, actually, right? And Jalen Duren, 15 and 12. Shout out to him for the fantasy points. And yeah, rough loss, because rarely teams lose games like this. But hey, they scored just 3 points in that overtime. It was a 14-3 overtime, which is insane. So rough night for the Pistons. Next up, we head to Miami as the Heat are back at 500 once again after beating the Timberwolves. And yeah, this was a nasty loss for Minnesota, as Miami was missing Bam Adebayo and Jimmy Butler, but hey, Minnesota just finds a way, I suppose. Rudy Gobert was absolutely woeful, got outplayed by Orlando Robinson tonight, who is a rookie. He looked absolutely woeful tonight in all of his minutes. It was nasty to watch, and yeah, I'm sorry, Minnesota fans. I'm really sorry. I'm really sad for you. Shout out Naz Reid off the bench, 21 and 11. He's been great, probably better than Rudy Gobert, so that tells you something. The most important stat for the Timberwolves, 22-9 in turnovers. Anthony Edwards himself had 8, D'Angelo Russell had 6, which is just way too many, especially when the other team has 9. They're one of the worst teams at turning the ball over, so yeah, well, best team technically, right? Because they turn the ball over so well, I guess. And yeah, the Timberwolves are nasty. And Edwards overall has been great. has been great, but the turnovers have to be cut down because the turnovers are just too much. And Rudy Gobert, I don't know what you do with him, man. I don't know if you shouldn't just trade him and hopefully get something back, because you're never getting those picks back, right? And then Miami, as I said, one of the best wins of the season for them, because, well, without two of your best stars, you needed everyone to turn up, and everyone did turn up. Tyler Hero, 14-8, even though he didn't shoot the ball well, I feel like, he was still solid. Kyle Lowry had a great game, 18-5-9, shout out to Kyle Lowry. Orlando Robinson, as I talked about, he was 15-9-4 in his 26 minutes, better than Rudy Gobert, which is crazy. And Max Strus finally had a great game, 19 points, which, I mean, that's rough. That's a rare one, also a rarity, but everyone showed up in a way. Duncan Robinson hit 3 threes, he was really solid in his 14 minutes, so shout out to the Heat for a win. And yeah, the T-Wolves are a mess. Next, we head to Chicago as the Bulls, after, winning 3 games against pretty good opponents, lose at home to the Rockets. Yeah, a nasty loss for the Bulls, as always, as they always somehow do. And their defense is one of the worst in the NBA, even though the numbers don't say that overall. They have been woeful these last 10 games. They have been the 26th worst defense. Last 15 games, they have been the 25th worst defense. And overall, they have been the 19th worst defense. So that's nasty, right? Houston shot 56% from the field. Crazy. And Kevin Porter was getting whatever he wanted. Shout out to KPJ for just going for his. This is what he does best. 36 points, 14 of 22, 6 of 12. Shout out to him. Jalen Green shot 6 of 10 from the 3-point line, which was great and encouraging. Great shooting night from him. Şengün with 25, 11 and 6. 2 blocks, 1 steal, 24 plus minus, which is crazy. Jabari Smith didn't shoot the ball well overall, but still a good game for him. And just a win for the Rockets. And as we talked about the Bulls side, we already know the defense, the performances tonight. DeMar 31 and 9, but as I said, the starting lineup has some of the worst defense you can see. And the funny outlier, Kobe White tonight, plus 17 in his 28 minutes, which is crazy, right? Because everyone's a minus, and of course, plus minus is a somewhat misleading stat some of the time, but crazy, right? 5 of 9, 4 of 8, 14 points. Shout out to Kobe White, but the starting lineup is nasty. There was no Alex Caruso, and they just said, it's my day off on defense, I guess. Next, we head to New Orleans as the depleted Pelicans beat up on my frisky Pacers. Yeah, this was a very rough performance from our Pacers. Everyone was pretty bad. They started off the game pretty well, but then it was just a blowout. They didn't show up at all. Their offense was really nasty. Of course, gotta give credit to the Pelicans, because their perimeter defense tonight was absolutely sensational at the same time, but a rough loss for the Pacers. I don't even want to talk about them, because there's not much to say here. They were just horrible. And for the Pelicans, they out-rebounded the Pacers 54-36, which is really great. As I said, their perimeter defense was sensational tonight. Jonas Valanciunas with 20 points, 12 rebounds, 5 assists. You got Najee Marshall with 22 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists. CJ McCollum with 19, 7 and 6, which even though he didn't shoot the ball well, he was still okay. The bench was great. Devontae Graham with 11. You got Larry Nance being a menace, 4 and 2. Willie Hernan Gomez with 7 and 2. Shout out to these guys. A great win for them without Zion and Brandon Ingram. Hopefully Zion is back as soon as possible, because he's missed the last 2 games. And they, stay afloat, and, still in the race for the number 1. Next up, we head to San Antonio as the Spurs get a win at home against the Utah Jazz. And this was a rough night for Malik Beasley and Jordan Clarkson. Jordan Clarkson was okay, but Malik Beasley was 4 of 16, 2 of 11 from the 3-point line, which was nasty. They, they really shot them out the game. But Lauri Markkanen, even though he wasn't shooting as great, also he, kind of relied them in that 4th quarter, almost got them back in it, and almost, carried them to the victory. 32 and 12, 8 of 18, 13 of 13 from the free throw line. Shout out to Lauri Markkanen for still being awesome. All-star player, 100%. He deserves to be on the All-Star team. And the 4th quarter rally was cool. It was like 40-30, almost got it back, but hey, you can win everyone, right? And bench scoring 34 to 48, which of course, one of the things that they excel on is the bench scoring, and they got outscored tonight on the bench, which is not great. Shout out to the Spurs. Devin Vassell, Keldon Johnson, you got Malachi Branham off the bench, you got Jeremy Sochan being a menace, 6-5 and 3, 21 points, 5 assists for Keldon Johnson on 9 of 14, one of the efficient games from him, which I'm always happy to see. Devin Vassell overall was great, didn't shoot the ball particularly well, but 24, 6 and 8, 2 steals, 2 blocks, great overall game from him, and a good win for the Spurs. And last but not least, we head to Portland as the Trailblazers get another win at home against the Hornets. Yeah, about the Hornets, man, I don't know what to talk to you about, right? LaMelo still a fun player. Otherwise, pretty nasty. So let's not even talk about it. It was a tight game, but the Blazers just got away from them in that fourth quarter and never looked back. Dame didn't even, shoot the ball well, still was impactful, still played okay basketball, 17 and 9. You got Anthony Simons shooting the ball not so well, also 18 points. But Yusuf Nurkic and Jeremy Grant were sensational. Josh Hart the same, 11 and 13. You got Jeremy Grant with 32 and 10 and 5. 12 of 19, great game from him. Yusuf Nurkic, 28 and 15 with 6 assists, 2 steals, 3 blocks. 5 of 7 from the 3-point line. I mean, that's his career high, and he's been shooting the 3-ball pretty well this season, and it's one of the things that he can do to actually make him, be that valuable asset that he is. So, of course, staying healthy is the first thing, because that's been the biggest problem in his career. But shout out to Nurkic with his 3-ball, and a great thing for the Blazers, the bench is still nasty. They still get no bench scoring, which is a problem. They need somebody to step up from the bench, and yeah, we'll see. Hopefully Gary Payton can help them from the bench with some, I'm not sure, scoring. The defense is of course his big thing, but hopefully they can use him just like we did last year, and he can be as impactful as he was, and they get a good win at home. And that wraps up the night today. What a fun matchups, actually. Some very weird performances tonight. Rudy Gobert, man. And these first games were great. Those were some incredible games we had to start the day. And shout out to the Nets. As I said, tomorrow be on the lookout. The video is coming about the Nets and their incredible scorching hot offense. Then we also will have another box scorching episode as always. We'll talk about tomorrow's games. You got the Lakers against the Frisky Magic. We'll see if the Magic video will instantly get them a loss against the Lakers, and that's gonna be something to look forward to. Hawks and the Pacers should be a fun one. As I said, the Clippers against the Raptors with Kawhi's return to Toronto, that should be a good one. Suns Grizzlies. I mean, Devin Booker is probably not gonna play since he's day-to-day, but maybe he will, and still should be a fun one. The Knicks against the Mavs could be a fun one once again. Jalen Brunson has returned to Dallas. Warriors, I'll of course watch that because I'm a Warriors fan. Kings, Nuggets, that should be a good one also. So a lot of things to look forward to tomorrow. I'll be here to talk about it as always. Be on the lookout for the next video, and I'll see you tomorrow with another box score watching episode.